Very good afternoon, student of class 12. Today I am starting the market chapter. Market chapter, it is a revisional chapter because we have already done it in class 11. Yes, so market is what? It is a social institution of buyer and seller. It is a bridge between the buyer and seller. And in this market, the goods are sold at a particular price. You know very well. How does the price determine? The price in the market is determined through market force, that is demand force and supply force. Apart from that, we have also studied that market can be divided on the basis of time period. There are 4 types of markets, that is very short, very long, very long, very long and very long. Now, on the basis of the geographical location also, market can be divided into 3 ways. One is the local market, one is internal market, another one is international market. Okay. Now I am teaching that market can be divided on the basis of degree of, you know very well, of competition prevailing in the market. Okay. On the basis of degree of competition. Now question is that what do you mean by the degree of competition? That is the number of sellers present in the market. Number of sellers in the market. Yes. So number of sellers of the market denotes the degree of competition. So on the basis of degree of competition, the market can be divided into several groups. First one is, you know very well, that is the perfect competition. In your syllabus, perfect competition we will read in details. In my upcoming video, you will see that I am discussing with the perfect competition in details, because the full perfect competition is in your syllabus. Next one is coming monopoly. That is there in the syllabus. Third one, oligopoly. And in my first I am discussing about three types of market. Then I am moving. First one, perfect competition. Perfect competition means that there is a perfect competition present among the sellers. What is the meaning? That in the perfect competition there are large number of buyers, large seller, and as a result there is a tight competition among the seller. And seller, they don't have any power to influence the price of the product. Means the seller cannot determine the price of the product, neither the buyer, because large number of seller and buyer as present in the market. So seller cannot, an individual seller cannot influence the price of the product. Price of the product is determined through market force. Okay, remember. Now coming to the characteristics of the product. Product are homogeneous in nature. Example, vegetable market. If you go to the potato market, what you will see, the all are potatoes. Not only that, they are same in nature. Yes, onion market, potato market, onion market, tomato market. If you will go, what we will see, they are identicals and exactly ditto in nature. So otherwise it cannot be termed as perfect competition. So we can say in the perfect competition what is happening, that there is the seller are selling the homogeneous product. Okay, and the product will be sold at a particular price. It is not that there is a too much price variation. One is asking that suppose potato per kg. Potato per kg generally it is 36 to 34 to 36. So price will be like this. It is not that in any market it is taking 80, some other market it is 70, another market it is 50. That is not happening, because potato falls under the perfect competition. Means the price of the product is determined through a market force, and this price prevails in the market. Means the seller are bound to sell their product at a particular price. That is a very important point. Another most important point, free entry and exit. That any firm or any buyer better to say any firm, they can come in or go out from the business without informing anybody. So there is no legal barrier in entering of firm and neither their departure. Okay, the firm can depart according to their own wish, whereas firm can enter into the market according to their own wish, and there is no legal barrier. Clear? Next point, that in this market there is no advertisement cost, only the market has production cost. Because the perfect competition market, there is no advertisement cost, because the perfect competition market is selling all generally the necessary commodity which are homogeneous in nature. Necessary commodity which are homogeneous in nature, that only fall under perfect competition. But necessary commodity which are not homogeneous in nature, which are heterogeneous in nature, that will fall only that will fall under monopolistic competition. Please remember this point. Clear? So perfect competition is the perfectly competitive market is those markets where the homogeneous products are available. There is tight competition among the seller. Price is determined by market force. The seller cannot increase the price of the product. That's why they are known as the price taker, nor a price maker. Number 4, free entry and exit of the seller in the market. There is no legal barrier. Number 5, there is only one cost, that is the production cost. Number 6, there is no advertisement cost because the products are very common to all. Example, local market. Moving to next market, just opposite characteristics of the. If you will inverse the perfect competition, then we will get monopoly. Mono means single and poly means the seller. So mono means single and poly means the seller. A market which is operated by a single seller is known as monopoly market. There is a single seller in monopoly market. There is a single seller, one seller, and buyer is large. Single seller managing the large number of buyers means the seller has huge influence on the price. The seller determines the price of the product. The price of the product is not determined by the market force, because there is a demand force. Obviously, large number of buyers is there, but there is no supply force in the market because there is a single seller in the market. As a result, there is no supply card in the monopoly market, because in monopoly market either an individual or an industry is operating in the market. There are no other industry or no other individual operate in the market. So that's why there is no supply card in the market. Because what is the market supply? Market supply is a summation of the supply card of the firm. So as one single firm operating in the business, so there should not be any supply card still. So it is a market which doesn't have any supply card. Here demand card is there. Price of the product is determined by the monopolist itself, and what type of product are highly necessary in nature. All the essential commodities, better to say, are supplied through this monopoly market. Example is railway, example is defense. Okay, defense guard, who are providing the service of defense? Obviously government only. Okay, monopoly, there are monopoly business on some restricted product which can only operated by the government only. Suppose the purchasing of vehicles, each and every country only the government is allowed to purchase and sell the vehicles from the different countries. So in case of monopoly market, the seller operates the market. Example I am given, railway is the biggest monopoly of India. Railway is still operating by central government. Okay, understood? Third one, up to this year we know oligopoly market. Oligo means few, market. Okay, understood? Understood. The number of seller is limited, but the number of buyer is very large. Okay, and the product can be same, either same or the product can be differentiated. So there are two types of oligopoly market. One is differentiated oligopoly and one is pure oligopoly. Example right now: cooking gas and airways. Coming to airways. Airways is there are limited number of airways. Suppose Jet Airways, Indian Airlines, Indigo, okay, Air Asia. So the number of airways companies are very limited in number because it is very difficult to set up airways company. It is happening in case of shipbuilding also because these are very costly projects. So in oligopoly market, oligopolist means the number of sellers are very limited in number. I am given the example. Another one airways, another one you can take insurance. Is also an example of oligopoly market. While limited insurance companies are there, government, private both are there, but airways and insurance, if you will compare, all the companies are providing service, but the type of service is different. Clear? Understood? The way the LIC is servicing the Star Health and Care or Bajaj Alliance, they are not providing their services in this way. So what is happening? There is difference in the nature of the product. Suppose airways also, there are different companies and they are providing different type of services. So that there is a variation in the type of services provided. That's why these are known as books. Another oligopoly market. All the books are not same. You are having history book, you are having geography book, you are having life science book, physics book, chemistry book. These are books, but the subject content is different. Okay, that's why these are known as differentiated oligopoly. And pure oligopoly, the product is same. Example is cooking gas. Cooking gas is also example of the oligopoly market, but it is a homogeneous one. Yes or no? Cooking gas, same. Whether it is Indian or it is any other company, maximum is Indian is there. So in that case, what we will find that they are all providing the same type of commodity. Gas cylinder looks same, whether it is supplied by the different supply agency or not, but the commodities get up to everything. All the gas cylinders are same in nature, they are identical in nature. So the cooking gas is an example of pure oligopoly market. Okay, I am finishing this part and I will